Back, and we come to the business part of this book, the chapter 10, under investigation. Somewhere in an interview in Guardian, he said that he's written this book just to clarify his name in that match fixing scandal and the Justice Qayyum report, for his children, for his family, to know that he's innocent. So that chapter 10 is all about that. I'll do that in parts because that's the main part of this book, the reason why he's written this book. And if you read this book, you realize that it's been written in a hurry. There are certain paragraphs which make no sense. I mean, the stories he has to tell are fantastic. He's got so many stories to tell, but the narration, the language, the prose is, sometimes you just stop. You must have seen in previous videos that I've just stopped and to just figure out what he's trying to say. Putatu Khan Saab to hi help le leta. Imran Khan has written a couple of books, and if you go through them, you read them, they're very fluent and they're very nice to read. I mean, the reader enjoys reading it. And he has inspired a lot of people to write books. To say, and him being naughty, he has put all of this in chapter 10, 10 numberi. Khabbe bade shatir honde ne, chalaki, him being naughty as well. So I'll just narrate you the first couple of pages to give you an idea what he's trying to say or make out. So this is after the 1996 World Cup quarter-final exit, where he didn't play. For some reason, he was injured. So the chapter starts like this. In the year after the fiasco of our World Cup quarter-final, Pakistan played as well as anyone in the world, building a plus record against everyone, save South Africa. Yet the whispering about fixing kept spreading, and now it was not only about us. An Indian newspaper, The Pioneer, had aired the first allegations of links between their players and bookmakers. And though we did not know it at the time, Muhammad Azharuddin had already introduced Hansi Kronia to the infamous M.K. Gupta. It was a period during which it was common knowledge that bookmakers called press boxes incessantly, looking for inside knowledge. Who else they were calling in secret was inevitably a source of speculation. Then he goes on, in hindsight, I made one serious mistake for which I have only myself to blame. Zafar Iqbal was one of my oldest friends and still went by his childhood nickname of Jojo. He and his elder brother Raja had lived 2 doors from us in Model Town and been playmates with my brothers and me. We had stayed close, and Jojo had been a generous and loyal helper. For example, he had done a lot of the organizing for my wedding. Huma disliked him and often urged me to keep my distance. But I felt I needed my friends. I was often away from Pakistan and worried about things at home, particularly after my father was kidnapped. So that story about his father being kidnapped, there he goes. There are many myths about the incident. It was an amateurish affair. Apparently, a rickshaw driver ambushed him at gunpoint as he got out of his car and held him for a day, claiming to have lost everything on a bet. But the kidnapper had no idea what to do next and let him go. My father did not even tell me about it until I returned to Pakistan, by which time justice had taken a standard Pakistani loop. The kidnapper was located, arrested, and jailed and bailed, then disappeared. Still, it was worrying, and a paradox of my increasing anxiety about whom I could trust was to make me overvalue those I'd known the longest.
क्या चीज़ें आ गई नहीं।
वसीम अकरम का बाप उठा के ले गए जुआरी है कि तो आपने मुझे गलत इंफॉर्मेशन दी है। 50 लाख रुपया वसीम अकरम ने दिया, बाप को छुड़ा के लाया। एक
50 लाख का वैसे हमारे पास सबूत कोई नहीं है।
नहीं, ये अखबारात में आया है,
अखबारात में आया ना।
उसने मुझे नोटिस भी भेजा था, ये लंदन के अखबार में छपा है। तो
नहीं, ये बात ठीक है कि
दूसरा आगे है ना, आकब जावेद को वसीम अकरम ने टीम से फारिग कर दिया।
I'll just cut short this video here, and I'll continue in the second part. And just to sum it up, he's one of the greats of the game. And in my opinion, if he's saying, I didn't do it, I mean, we should accept that. We should give him the benefit of the doubt. But the point is, he came from Mozang, from a typical middle-class family. And he must have been tempted, and he might have made some mistakes. But he worked so hard to be the number one. I mean, he's probably the number one left-arm fast bowler ever to have graced the cricketing field. So why would he spoil all this? My favorite. Keep watching. Thanks.